Hey guys, so we made it through another hurricane, Hurricane Milton. And yeah, there was a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage to the area here, not specifically where I live, the neighborhood I live in. We made it out pretty good, no flooding at all. Many areas around here flooded, lots of damage. All the beaches are destroyed. Not really a lot of places to go ride my motorcycle anymore. But yeah, the last video that I put out, um, like I said, bear with me because I'm trying out this new program, and that was the very first video that I put out with it. And when I rendered it, it basically dropped some files out of the video, so it just came out all choppy. But basically, I'm just learning it, and it's brand new. So anyway, and I went and bought the cheapest headphone set that I could find for $10 just to see if I could get this to work. But I'll probably invest in something a little bit better down the line. But yeah, so let me show you this. Is this not the creepiest picture of the hurricane that you've ever seen? Like, what the? This is creepy. I saw this picture going around and I thought, whoa. So yeah, the morning, let me see here. Do I have a picture? All right, so the morning that I left, it looked like this, and it was already starting to flood. It was already starting to, like, there was a lot of water sitting from all the rain from, because like our area had 3 hurricanes, not 2. We had Debbie, then we had and it's so hard to keep track of all the names anymore. We had Debbie, Helene, and then Milton. So our area got hit 3 times back to back in a matter of 3 weeks, I believe it was. So we had already had a lot of water sitting, and basically after I put that video out, should I stay or should I go? I decided, you know what, maybe I should go a little bit more inland. So I had to pack up the little fur babies and go stay with I stayed with my aunt, and she was a little bit more inland, which made me feel a little bit more comfortable just because of basically the flooding. It wasn't the wind I was worried about, it was mostly the flooding. So this is what it looked like the morning that I left, and basically it was a pretty eventful day. So I got over to my aunt's, and let's see here. It really started to get crazy, but basically my aunt's house started to flood. Well, not flood, but it started to rain a lot. So you could see all the water starting to, actually the road flooded for a short time, and then it stopped raining, and we hardly got any rain with this storm. It was a lot of wind. So that was what the front of her house started to look like when it was still during the day. And then it started to get more into the evening, and it started picking up. Things were really blowing around. It was getting pretty crazy. And then I went outside when the middle of the storm, like basically after the first part of the storm and the eye went over, and then the rest of the storm was kind of a little bit more, well, actually it wasn't more mellow after the second half of the storm, but there was a break in the storm where it did calm down a little bit, and I went outside to try to check out what was going on out there. But walking around in the yard. There's a duck. There's a duck. That happened with me, and there was a duck. Are you? Tell me about it. Did that not look like a duck like that? In the ditch? On the road? Oh, on the road? Oh, it's a bird. There was literally a bird. Oh my gosh. A duck standing in the middle of the road. It was just standing outside, and we were kind of freaking out about that. But so yeah, it was really crazy. The wind was really strong. There wasn't a lot of rain. It wasn't, it actually wasn't as bad as we intended it to be, or as we we were told it was going to be, with all the fear mongering on the on the news, like they always do. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. They told everybody, and some people were freaking out like really bad. I only went about maybe 10 minutes away, not even. I think I was about 5 minutes away from my house, but where I'm living right now, I'm really close to the water. So it was definitely a little bit better. After the hurricane, basically, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning after it finally started to calm down a little bit, and the power went out about 10 o'clock that night. And I turned my battery operated fan on and laid down and tried to take a nap. I had only gotten 8 hours of sleep in 3 days, so it was definitely taxing on everyone. We were very exhausted afterward, but so basically, the drive home, the picture's really blurry, but this is basically the downtown area, and there was no lights at all. This was at like 4:30 in the morning, and you can see there's no traffic lights, no street lights. This was just the reflection from my lights shining. So that was pretty crazy. And then I got home to check everything out, and this is what I found. Well, it's like 5 a.m. and I just got back to the house, and the fence almost fell all the way down over here. Oh man, this big tree fell and tore up the shed. Wow, this big tree fell. Whoa. Let me see if I can try to zoom out. Whoa. It was like 5 a.m. Big tree too. Wow. If I can even get the light to... Whoa. Whoa, this fence, all this stuff got destroyed back here. Must have been like a tornado. A little tornado came through here. There was tornadoes popping up everywhere. Hey, kitty. There was so many tornadoes. There was a huge tornado out in Clewiston. All my ladders and stuff are in this old shed. Oh, this is a pepper bush. This is a Brazilian pepper bush. It's destroyed. I'm so glad this tree didn't fall down. I love this tree right here. Check out my neighbor's house. No flooding. Look at this. No water laying. This is amazing. It's like a ghost town in my neighborhood. Kitty. Everybody left. Of course, as soon as you try to get on the computer, the cat just got to get up here. The road's not even flooded. Can you believe this? Look at it. This is all. That's all there is. There's a big tree down in the road. Stay. I saw a stray cat that got left out when I left, before I left. Oh. I don't know if you can see it. Can't see it. It's all the way down there. There's a tree blocking the road. Look how pitch black it is. Uh-oh, the neighbor's vinyl fence. No power. Neighbor's vinyl fence on the corner there. I'm surprised most of it stayed. Those vinyl fences don't hold up for very much. All right, well, I go back around the other side of the house. That's all that happened over here. I can't even believe it. There was no... Sorry, I'm trying to hold this big light. Man, all this. Wow, look at this. This is, I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but look at all these palm fronds everywhere. Yup. I didn't get no leaking in the house. No trees fell on the house. Doesn't look like there's any roof damage at all. Pretty good, not too bad. So Let's see, what else do I got? Here's a picture of how bad it was. This is the back corner of the property where I live. The rusty old shed that I was very thankful of because I can put my ladders and stuff in there. But this is the fence that pretty much just about fell all the way down. Been working on that the past couple days. That's another thing after you get home and you've had 3 days of madness, then you have all the cleanup to do, and then I had to mow the yard, and it's just a lot to do. But so basically that's the extent of the damage that I had, which I cannot complain. I'm blessed.
Hurricane Milton has come and gone, but communities across our area are still assessing the damage. Today, we got a first look at the devastation on Boca Grande. NBC2's Rachel Whalen joins us live from the barrier island with a look at the cleanup work happening today.
After Helene, we showed you how the storm uncovered a road here behind the South Beach restaurant. Now today, that road is in pieces. Just take a look at all of the road, rocks, and even parts of the seawall that broke off here behind the historic restaurant. The good news is they only got some structural damage, and they tell me they hope to be open in some kind of capacity within the next few weeks. Sitting at the island's most southern point, the South Beach restaurant has been a staple on Boca Grande since the 50s.
There's people telling us that this is where they had their first kiss, their first anniversary, where some people have cast their children's ashes here.
The South Beach restaurant burnt to the ground during Hurricane Ian. Owners finally reopened this Labor Day.
Burnt all the way down.
Weeks later, Helene caused them to shut their doors again.
They just got reopened.
Here's what it
2
looked
weeks
like
later,
when the storm ate
boom,
up their beach and
another one.
uncovered a road built here in the 80s. Today,
everybody
that
was
road
so
has
excited
turned
to have that
rubble.
back open.
No, not again. Not again. I mean, it's not only a restaurant, it's all our big family, our work family. We've been together for a long time. Everybody's been here for a long time.
The building has some structural issues, but nothing
Like
the owners
70
say
years.
they can't bounce back from.
I don't know any other way except keep going. I don't want to leave here.
Over in Boca Grande's historic downtown, Milton brought
No one
2
wants to
feet of
leave.
storm surge, forcing businesses like Scarpa's to leave their inventory on the side of the road.
We stand right here. It was 4 feet of sand. It was literally this high.
Sheriff Carmine Marcino says crews have worked fast, but they still have a long way to go.
Some of the damage you see, the roads have been lifted. There's 6, 8-foot holes that are exposing the underground, utilities.
If we've learned anything from the people of Boca Grande, it's that they're resilient.
You can rebuild it stronger or rebuild the same, but don't give up. What we say, when life gives you lemon, make some lemonade. Don't give up.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office says that they have upped their presence here to make sure that they're here to help you and that they're keeping an eye from looters coming onto your properties. I'm reporting on Boca Grande Island, Rachel Whalen at BC2.
Avoid these foods.
The scope of the destruction comes into better focus when seen from above, and CBS's Nicole Valdez got exclusive access to the barrier island of Boca Grande in a helicopter with the Lee County Sheriff.
From the sky, the damage was clear.
You can see that water forced right through here. Look at this. My God. Wow.
The only bridge to Boca Grande was closed,
down
blocking access to the barrier island after it was hit with a 5-foot storm surge. Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino.
5 feet.
I've heard reports today coming back that Boca Grande got hit very hard with Hurricane Milton.
Homes surrounded by brown water, cars swept away, businesses caked in sand.
I mean, this is evidence of just how powerful of a storm surge we are talking about. Check out this road. It's washed out, that building barely hanging on by a thread. And over here, you'll notice that part of the asphalt here has literally buckled under the pressure of all that water.
These sandbags weren't enough to protect this shop.
The water 4 or 5 feet up.
Nearly everyone on this island evacuated, and Sheriff Marcino thinks
covered
that
in sand.
saved their lives.
It looks like a nor'easter storm from like
Get
up
it.
north,
That's
but it's
the
sand.
road.
I've never seen it, or would imagine it would look like this. Businesses closed, water's busted through the windows, trash and debris, boats, furniture. I mean, this just shows you it's pure devastation. If you took a picture, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. This leaves me at a loss of words.
Now, those who live on islands like Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel are just now being let back on to check on their homes, but others like Boca Grande and Captiva, well, they're still cut off. Officials say they still need more time to make sure those bridges are safe to drive on.
Pronounce my words. So yeah, it's every beach is destroyed now. I'm not even going to show everything. I just figured I would show a couple things that really touch my heart. Basically, there's so many videos everywhere, all over the internet regarding, drone footage, boots on the ground. So there's plenty to see out there. But this one I thought was interesting.
Tonight, the barrier islands on Florida's west coast are digging out.
Nobody ever expects this.
This is Minnesota
Key was slammed by the brunt of Milton's wind and surge.
Very challenging times for sure.
Fire Lieutenant Chad Wynn gave us a boat tour of the worst of it.
It's
Minnesota Key,
something we'll never get back.
Boca
It's
Grande.
crazy. Part of history is truly gone.
While the manatees swim unfazed, the Key is likely changed forever.
The land connected before the hurricane, but when the storm came in, it was so strong, it blew a hole through the island.
Further down the coast, houses are decimated.
That seawall is there to protect the houses, but Hurricane Milton was so strong that it actually picked up those huge boulders and hurled them into homes, some cases in their living rooms.
In other areas, water still submerges roads and homes. Floodwaters rising days after Milton hit in towns far from the coast. After touring the damage Sunday, President Biden promised $600.
It's still flooding, and it's been a week now, and some communities are still flooding.
Hager and his wife own timeshares at the Sea Oats Beach Club in Minnesota Key, utterly transformed by the surge and the sand.
You help your friends out, we help our neighbors out, and then we come in and start working on our stuff.
It will take the will of Floridians like themselves to rebuild.
You go stand up on that tiki hut and you look out and then you see that gorgeous aqua water. You're like, that's why we're here. That's just that view is priceless.
That is sand cleared from the streets, first from Hurricane Helene and then from Hurricane Milton.
3 hurricanes.
It is a monument to the strength of those two storms.
They're not talking about Debbie, but
Thanks for watching. Stay updated
Debbie
about.
was not good to us either. This is more Minnesota Key. I've been riding my motorcycle out there like every weekend, almost.
None of them are from Southwest Florida. Charlotte County deputies reporting no deaths in their area. We know Minnesota Key is one of the many barrier islands that got wrecked by Milton. That's where we find NBC2's Alexia Teropoulos tonight. She is speaking with a man whose home was destroyed.
Good evening, guys. The resident that lived here behind me is actually from
This
Vermont.
poor guy.
He comes here part of
From
the year.
Vermont.
This was his paradise, and now it's a place that has turned into a nightmare with how much he's going to have to rebuild. He says the day before the storm, before he evacuated, he vacuumed his place. He wasn't expecting to come home
He was
to this
vacuuming.
much destruction.
It's just totally, the
Sad.
house is just totally gutted. My house is way over there, and my kitchen sink and air conditioner are way over here. And it must have been
Nobody thought it was going to be this bad.
Mother Nature's vicious storm surge and wind tore Gregory Wilson's paradise apart.
It's just much worse than I could ever imagine.
He evacuated a few days before.
Some people were
Hurricane
scared to
Milton.
death.
Well,
and
I
some
came
people
up
were
from
just
Fort
like,
Myers where I was sheltering, and I didn't know if I'd be able
No
to get
big
on or not. But I kind of followed, I think, some of the governor's entourage onto the island here.
Governor Ron DeSantis spoke to us in front of Wilson's house Friday, saying resources are coming to Charlotte County to help rebuild. But for some residents like Gregory, they don't know where to start to pick up the pieces.
Good question. I brought a couple of bags with me and got a few personal items, but there's really not much to pick over.
He has this message for Minnesota Key residents who haven't seen this devastation just yet.
Terrible.
I don't know what to say, you know. It's just be prepared. It's ugly. It's very ugly.
He tells me what surprises him the most is the cups that are stacked here behind us. They haven't been touched, not even by storm surge or rain. They are perfectly placed exactly where he left them. He said he was able to go inside and grab some last-minute things he needed before he left. He doesn't know when he'll return, but he says this is a place that he wants to try to rebuild. I'm reporting on Minnesota Key tonight.
Of course, nobody wants to leave. Florida's too amazing to leave here. This one's kind of sad. But the guy has a really good
3 days after Hurricane Milton devastated Englewood, the streets are lined in debris and people's personal belongings. On Fox 4's Ella Rhodes, and people here still say life is good, even when it looks like this.
You're my best friend in the world.
No.
Hurricane Milton took nearly everything from Frank and Sandy Alward. Furniture, appliances, mattresses, carport, and more. But not each other. In the 41 years they called Englewood home, the first storm they evacuated for was Hurricane Milton.
Something in my mind told me this is going to be a whole different ball game.
Frank and Sandy walked us through what Hurricane Milton left of their home.
When I stepped in the house, it just broke my heart because everything was just shambles.
The waterline shows the 4 feet of storm surge that flooded their house and left their floors covered in muck. A week earlier, Helene left 6 inches of rain inside, so they already ripped apart the drywall. After Helene, they bought new appliances. Now, those purchases all sit on the street with the rest of their belongings after Milton. What from their home did weather the storm? Pictures from their biker days, and of course, a Tom Brady Bucks autograph. A lot happens in 65 years of marriage, still living life to the fullest, despite the circumstances.
My life is 100%. You know,
life is good. If you look at them people in North Carolina where they're still missing, what do we have to complain about?
Yes.
Pray for North Carolina.
What's next for the Allwards?
Rebuild and move on. That's what we've done for 40 years.
The help from their family and neighbors makes each day easier.
One day at a time, right? Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's the present. That's why they call it the gift.
It sounds crazy to hear after what Hurricane Milton left them with. Through it all, they still find happiness and laughter.
Be grateful, have a great attitude, and just endure. You know, we didn't get injured.
No.
You know, so, I mean.
So life is good.
Even after the storm.
I love those people.
In Englewood, Ella Rhodes, Fox 4.
I really love those people. Yeah, before when I decided, I better go ahead and move a little more inland, I went out into the garage and I was like, oh, I love you, my little rosebud. And I gave my motorcycle a kiss and I told her goodbye. Just in case. Oh my gosh. So sad. I was like, I love you. And I gave her a kiss. Oh my gosh. This was just a quick video that I did just to show, there's no sound of this, but just on the left-hand side, you can see how beautiful it used to be out on Minnesota Key, and then look on the right now what it looks like. Oh man. All the beaches are destroyed. All of them. All the way up the coast, pretty much, in Southwest Florida. It's terrible. There's not a lot you can do. It's like a lot of people can't afford. It's kind of, this is That left-hand video right there, that's what it looks like out there. It's so beautiful. That's what it usually looks like. Lots of vegetation, and the houses are kind of like set back in the, in the trees and stuff right on the beach. It's beautiful. But yeah. So when it comes to evacuating, it can be kind of expensive, and not everybody can really afford to evacuate. And then a lot of people are just, they don't want to be locked out, after the storm comes, and then they won't let you back in the area, and then you can't open up your house and prevent mold, and then your house ends up with like 10 times more damage than you would have had if you could have just had, immediate access back to your property. And people don't like that, being locked out and, not being allowed to go back to their property. People also get scared about like getting stuck on the interstate, getting stuck on the road trying to evacuate everybody. I mean, a lot of people saw what the traffic looked like there, and that was a nightmare. And I would be scared to be stuck in a vehicle on the side of the road myself. So I usually just stay put. Like they said, you don't have to evacuate hundreds of miles. You just have to go more inland. They literally they evacuate people that are out on the barrier islands into where we are. So, everybody has to use their own judgment, and there's always people that end up having to get rescued out because either the area floods and they didn't expect their area to flood. They rescued tons of people out of Tampa. Tampa got hit really hard. So basically, that was pretty much my experience. It wasn't too bad. Very exhausting. I've spent the last, few days resting, and then the immediate few days right after the storm was basically clean up, yard work, rest, take a nap if you can, because it's taxing on your energy levels, because it's like, for days before the storm comes, you're scrambling, running around trying to get everything. Oh, I need gas. So let me get a generator. Let me make sure I go to the grocery store, make sure I got some stuff. And basically, a lot of times people like to make fun of people that are so-called preppers. But, this just goes to show you it's good to be a prepper, be prepared, especially in Florida. I'm always prepared. So when everybody makes a mad dash to the grocery store, I'm just sitting back on my couch because I'm like, I already have like everything that I need. I have like 3 or 4 of everything I need. I have got toilet paper, I got coffee, I got peanut butter, I got bread, I got, everything that you could possibly need to get through a storm, water, ice, just keep. I never buy one, I never buy one of anything. I always buy 2 or more of everything, because it's like, then you get home and you eat up all your snacks, and then you're like, I'm all out now. And you're just like, I wish I would have bought 2. So no, I buy 2, and then I get home and I eat all my snacks, and then I still have more in the cupboard. So I don't have to keep going back to the grocery store and keep buying it over and over and over again. But it comes in handy when there's a storm, because then you don't have to rush out and make a mad dash to the grocery store like a lot of people do. A lot of people don't even cook at home anymore, and they just eat everything out. And that's basically not my lifestyle. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that's not how I do it. So I tend to be pretty stocked up with everything, and so I'm grateful and blessed, and just wanted to get a video out, let you guys know everything's good. Got a bunch of work coming up. It is starting to, slow down a little bit. Times are tough right now, so just doing everything I can to keep busy, and I've got a few big ones coming up. I've got a big exterior, and I got another call today for some work, and so everything's good. So just want to let you guys know. Thanks. Be safe out there, and prayers for North Carolina. North Carolina is really bad. I was binging that yesterday because I just can't even believe everything that's going on up there. And down here, we've got nothing to complain about. We're blessed. We've got DeSantis. He takes care of us. He gets us fuel. He gets us power. We got water. We got all the necessities. But up there in North Carolina, they're still looking for people. There's hundreds of people that are missing. And they've lost everything. They've lost their homes. So I would recommend donate. If you can't do anything else to help. If you have, not everybody has the money to donate, but if you do have the money to donate, I would definitely recommend donating to an organization that's not FEMA, not the Red Cross. Donate to Samaritan's Purse, and there's a couple other, there's churches. So do your due diligence and check out do some research before you donate, but definitely donate to a local or a more private organization that's definitely going to help. Don't donate to the Red Cross. Don't donate it to FEMA. That's what a lot of people are saying. So, all right, prayers out to North Carolina and Asheville and everyone that's lost a loved one. Much love, everyone.